It's about that time. I'm Officer Kaz, Officer 50, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna, and we are the home of the truth. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you're not in the truth. Yeah. All right, and today we're gonna get started on what's going on. What I've been seeing today is everybody, it's time for election. And the title of this message is pretty much voting is for slaves. Because if you're out there voting, it's not of you I.S.U.P.K, it's not of God to be voting out there. I see the lines going in. You got the two different parties trying to tangle. You got the Republican and you got the Democratic Party, and you got to figure out which line you want to be in. You go Republican, you're the Democratic, some other right wing nationalist, whatever you're going to be. But that's all of is not of the Most High. And I'm gonna bring it down to you. First of all, I'm gonna give you a little bit of history about the Democratic parties, and because what it is today is kind of flip-flop to what it was, okay? And people don't know the history of what's going on with the Democratic Party. Now, I'm not a historian, I'm not but I'm gonna give you a little bit of history of what's going on. And I'm thinking about in the 1700s, Thomas Jefferson was the first Democratic president that came into being. And what he wanted to do, pretty much, was he wanted to democratize or have a more democracy of the world, of the way the country was going. He didn't like the way it was being run, so he wanted more of a democracy. And what he actually wanted was he wanted the democracy for white men, not women, and none of the slaves, not African, the slaves at the time. He wanted the democracy for the white men. He just wanted a different view of how the world was going, because we just got in the war with England. We just won that battle, so they didn't want to have a second England on the rise. So what he really wanted was us to take it to another level, and that's why he became into that. Now, I'm a sidebar on this because we all know Thomas Jefferson, and he owned a lot of slaves and he owned a lot of land. And he had a slave. His wife was named Martha, but yet he had another lady in the name. What's her name? Hemingway. I forgot her name. She was a sister, Sally Hemingway. And he had a few kids by this lady, by this sister. Now she was living inside the house where the slaves stay at, and they had a couple of kids. So I'm gonna say this to say this. They look at us, blacks, as father, we don't take care of our children, or whatever the case may be. But we learned that from them. That stuff was going on back then. They was having sex with our slave women, fathering these kids, and wasn't taking care of them at all. And and they're going to call us deadbeat fathers. But in nationality, they're the deadbeat people. And that's what's been going on. So that's the Democratic Party all in a nutshell. And then you got your Republicans going at the same time. The Republicans are the same type of people. Now, these are just a different type of people who just wanted, they wanted more of a slave into the Midwest of the country. And the Midwest of the country, they didn't want slaves either. They just wanted the farming for the rich, the poor white people to do farming, and they didn't want any of the so-called, the big slave owners who have all the slaves doing the packing and doing the tilling of the land. They can't compete with them. So they wanted that all land for the rich white people. And then you have your abolitionists. Now, your abolitionists, they wanted to abolish slavery all the way around. They didn't want no parts of slavery. They wanted the whole country to be abolished. Now, this is the Republican Party. So the abolitionists and the Republican Party, they kind of lumped up together. So now you have Abraham Lincoln thrown to the Republican Party. So they figured he was an abolitionist and he was against slavery. But he wasn't. And that's how all this gets stuff started. How we transfer that thing to today is everything's mixed up and flip-flopped. Now you have the Democratic Party. All the black people are for Democratic Party. And the white people are Republicans. Now, you got a couple of brothers in the Republicans, but most of the people that we always know that Democratic people are for the black people. That's what I've always heard. If anybody heard anything different, let me know. But I know as I was growing up, the Democratic Party was always for the black people. So now, you know in the history, a little bit of the history, not just a little small of the history. Now you know in the history of these Democratic parties, you know they didn't give a damn about us at all. Because we was called, 3/5 of a man back then? The Constitution wasn't even written for us back then. So therefore, none of the stuff that they even wanted was for us. They just wanted to keep us in slavery all the time and build up their country, build a nation. That's what it was all about. And now we have people out there right now, rock the vote. They're out there voting, going to the polls. And what troubles me is this. They tell you, if you didn't vote, your voice don't matter. Now, how in the hell? I'm here in America. You're going to tell me my voice don't matter. So when you tell me if I see an injustice being done, I can't speak on it because I didn't go to a poll and check a box? It's crazy. It's asinine. So therefore, I didn't vote. So now I don't have nothing to say about this man's neck being on somebody's, his knee being on somebody's neck. So I'm just supposed to let that go because I didn't vote. That's just how crazy this stuff sounds. Now all this stuff is started off bad. The Republican Party is all this stuff wasn't for us. So young man Quinn, you there? All right, let me get you to go into Ecclesiastes 1:15 for me, please. All right. Read it when you got it.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight.
That which is what?
Crooked.
Uh-huh.
Cannot be made straight.
Go ahead.
And that which is wanting cannot be numbered.
That which is crooked cannot be made straight. So how those parties came to be, how they came together, was wicked and it was crooked. So now you're trying to make it straight. Oh, they changed the Democratic Party. They changed the Republican Party. They haven't changed nothing. All they changed was the outside of it to get you Negroes to vote and to push their agenda. When the last time you seen somebody in your neighborhood? I know when I was younger, in the neighborhood, we didn't see anybody coming through there that was white unless it was voting time. When it was voting time, they was coming through the hood, shaking, kissing little babies and shaking hands, promising you the world, and never got none of it done. As soon as we got him in office, didn't see him no more, didn't hear from him no more. And this is the time that we're living in right now, this moment. People want to go ahead and go out to these polls and vote. This is the time that your press is going to be in your neighborhoods, and you're not going to see him no more. This time they're going to push their agenda, and they're using us to push that agenda. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're using us to push their agenda, which in the meantime, on the back end, they care nothing about us. The scripture just said, read the scripture for me again.
101, verse 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered.
Which means if the Democratic and Republican Party was already crooked, it was made crooked, whatever it does, it has no meaning for us. Because it doesn't exist for us. And not only that, holidays and the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, all those things, read the origin of where these things came from, and you're going to find out it's wicked. And the Bible says, what was made crooked cannot be made straight. So I don't care if you want to go and have a birthday party for the kids. I don't care if you want to have Christmas for the kids. It's not right, and it's crooked, and the Most High does not like it. So you can't use that whole excuse talking about it's for the kids, because right now in this verse says, what was made crooked cannot be made straight. Go ahead.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback on what you're saying on the scripture and all, it's crazy that, every adult living now we use that terminology that a divided house would not stand. Everyone uses that. But still we practice using that voting system to run the country, knowing that the house is already divided. We still participate in that stupid voting mess.
That's right.
I think it's just crazy, Slocky.
That's right, and you're absolutely right. The house divided. They're gonna stay divided. We're a house of Israel. We're gonna stay divided because we're out there voting and we're out there celebrating these holidays for those things. That's why we're gonna stay divided. Somebody says like it? Go ahead.
Can we precept that particular verse with Ecclesiastes 7 and 13?
Which one?
Ecclesiastes 7 and 13.
Yeah, let me make sure it's not on one of my lists there, warrior. Yeah, go ahead. Read it for me when you got it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of Yahanna, for who can make that straight which he has made crooked like it?
Yeah, that's hey man, get that man a hand. That's exactly what it is. That's a damn good precept, and it just quoted exactly what it said. So that's 2 times it's quoted in that Bible. So that means it must mean something. It's backing it up. It's telling you what he made crooked. You can't make straight, man. That's in this life. That's in this world at all. You can't make those things straight. You have something?
Yes, like I got some people signed in on Facebook.
Okay then.
You want me to give you those names?
Yeah, give me those names.
All right.
Hey, Salaki, let me get these people checked in on Facebook. Go ahead.
Uh-huh. Shawan Owens, Shawonne.
All right.
We have Madana, Sister Madana. Anna.
Uh-huh.
And then Israel.
Good to go. There's 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, on Facebook. All right, slum to the people on Facebook. If you got any questions, go ahead. We got somebody monitoring the the line. So if you got any questions, go ahead and put it into the chat, and we'll go ahead and get to you. All right. Go water for that. Yeah, like we were saying, was made crooked can't be made straight. But we're gonna see of this voting thing. We're gonna see of the men, because the Most High picks who He wants to have ahead of Israel, and we're gonna get into it tonight about some of the guys that He picked to run Israel and to rule us and to take us into the promised lands and to actually rule His people as a kingdom of Israel. So we're gonna go into the first one. Give me Deuteronomy 1, verse 3. Now, we're going to do a little reading tonight, Israel. We're going to do a little reading because I want you to understand the gist of the Bible. I want you to understand how the Most High picks His people. And understand that we are a people who was governed by ourselves. We didn't need anybody to govern us outside of Israel. And so we're going to prove that in the Bible tonight. All right, let's go ahead and get it. Well, let me get there right there quick, Maury. Let me get there. All right, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 3. And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moses spake unto the children of Israel, according unto all the Lord had given him in commandment unto them. Verse 4. After he had slain Sihon, the king of Amorites, which dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, which dwelt at Ashtaroth and Edrei.
Okay, read.
Verse 5. On this side, Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moses to declare this law, saying, verse 6, the Lord our God spake unto us in Horeb, saying, ye have dwelt long enough in this mount.
That's right. So at this point, Moses is about to get an order. They was there about 40 years, almost 41 years. They out there wandering around in the wilderness, growing and living. And now the Most High coming to him and speak to him, saying, hey, it's time to get out of here. Keep reading.
Verse 7. Turn you and take your journey, and go to the mount of the Amorites, and unto all the places nigh thereunto, in the plain, in the hills, and in the vale, and in the south and by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites, and unto Lebanon, unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give unto them and to their seed after them.
Look, stop right there. At this point, he said, go unto your fathers with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that he promised them. All up until now, that's always been the promise. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is the land he always promised us. You can go into the books and start reading from the beginning of the chapter when he promised it, Abraham, all the way through. The Most High keeps his promise of this land that he wants to give us. And we're going to keep on reading and find out what happens in this whole land. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear myself alone. Verse 10. The Lord your God hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude. Verse 11. The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you.
Stop right there for a moment. Stop right there. I'm gonna try to paint a picture for you. You got Moses in this wilderness with all these people. He promised them that he's gonna make them a multitude of people. So now you're in the wilderness, and all these people that he has, and we've been, how Israel is. We gonna multiply. That's just what we do. We gonna multiply. And so we have kids and children after children, all these many years. And all of a sudden, the Most High said, okay, we about to move into this. Now he needs help. He's like, how am I gonna control all these people? What are we going to do? So now he's in the tizzy like, I don't understand what's going to happen. Keep reading.
Verse 12. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance, and your burden, and your strife? Verse 13. Take you wise men and understanding, and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you.
Stay right there. He said, take who? From
wise
the top?
Men.
Take wise men and understanding, and known among your tribes. We had a verse that says, know the men that labor among you. This is Israel again. This is how we did business. We got men within our tribe, wise men who understood something. Like you may have a great uncle who's wise. You may have a cousin who was amongst his tribe who understood and kept the laws of the Most High God. Those are the wise men that he took amongst each tribe. All right, continue on.
Verse 14. And he answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. Verse 15.
Okay, you start right there.
So
you start right there. I just want you to understand this is what we did. This is the system that we set up. We didn't set up a system where we went outside the heathenistic people and got them to rule over us. That's not what we did. We got people within our own organization against the Israel, amongst them the wise men, to make ruler over them. All right. Okay, you know what? Keep reading on that. Keep reading. Go ahead. We're gonna read down to 21.
Verse 15. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands.
How many captains? Whoa, captains over what?
Thousands.
Keep going.
And captains over hundreds. And captains over 50s. And captains over tens. And officers among your tribes.
Now, what does that sound like? Captains over thousands, captains of hundreds, captain of 50s, captain over 10s. What does that sound like? Anybody in the class? Now, these young men, what does that sound like? Go ahead.
That sound like 1 West 105th Street, Harlem, New York.
Damn right.
I.S.U.P.K.
All the way. That's us. That's the I.S.U.P.K. right there. He gave us officers and captains and general. That's what he gave us to rule over our men. Those are the systems that we set up. So if you look at the I.S.U.P.K., we don't have senators and governors that you had that the heathen set up. What we have is we have officers. We have the captains, and we have all these people set up to govern how we do. We got an officer over Atlanta, also over New York. We got also over Philly. All these places we got set up just as in the Bible. One thing about One West, we do things biblical, we do it lawful, and that's what we do. And we got to give a hand for that of Commander General Yahanna. That's what he set up for us, and that's what we follow. All right, keep reading.
Verse 16. And I charge your judges at the time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother.
Hey, Salakia. You read it too fast. You said hear the causes between who?
Hear the causes between your brethren.
Your brethren. Not anybody else. Hear the cause between your brethren. Continue reading.
And judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him.
That's how we set up, man. That's how the Most High see it. There's no perfected person. You break a law, no matter who you are, you're going to get dealt with accordingly. And that's how Israel deal with it. It was dealt with it back then that way, and it's dealt with it right now that way. Anything that happens in I.S.U.P.K., we deal with that, we handle it accordingly. We sit there, we judge it, we judge the matter, and then whatever judgment takes place that needs to be judged on it, we give that judgment. And that's given down from the top in the Bible to now. Somebody said Shalakia?
Yeah, concert is Trooper Radar. Verse 16 is pretty much a cold cut to what Christians would say, like, you can't judge me, only God can judge me.
That's right.
Here it says, we're supposed to judge righteously.
Damn right, we're supposed to judge righteously. Nowhere in this says that he gave, and there's nowhere in this passage we just read where he said he gave an altar boy, a choir boys, none of that stuff. We judge righteously. We judged righteously back then, and we judge righteously right now in I.S.U.P.K. And it's definitely a cold cut, because in the Christians, and the Christian church, you do something wrong, depending on how much money you got, you may walk away. In the Catholic Church, depends on who you are. No one can say nothing to you, because no one said nothing to those people who molested all those kids. They moved from one, one mosque or one Catholic place to another, cathedral to another. So if you get caught over here messing with a little boy, they'll go ahead and change you up, put you to another area, and then you're priest over there. That's not how we do in Israel. That's not how it was done. That's not how it's supposed to be done now at all. That's not how we do it. That's not how we do it. We don't get down like that at all. Something happens in Israel, we handle it, and we treat everybody accordingly. We don't care if you're a captain of whatever or officer or whatever you've done, there's the judgment for you. And Israel we'll execute that judgment on you. We ain't gonna kill nobody, nothing like that, but we will judge it fairly. All right, keep reading.
Verse 17. Ye should not respect persons in judgment. Ye shall hear small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is Yahweh's. and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me.
That's right.
And I will hear it.
Moses said, if the cause is too hard, bring it up to him. We have cases that we can't judge right here at Atlanta. We take it up to another. We take it up to another department. We take it up to another level, and they judge those things righteously. That doesn't happen outside the world. That doesn't happen when you go to court. You go to court, you stand in front of the judge. Those judgments are not the same. The judgment is not the same for a young black man coming up. He did something wrong to your oppressor. They do something wrong. The outcome is not the same. It's totally different. We getting for a baggie or whatever we do. And then I'm not saying this is the stuff that we're supposed to be doing because it's all wrong. However, I just want to bring across you the crimes that we do, that we commit, and the crimes that your oppressor commits is not the same punishment. We got brothers who are in jail for small crimes for 10, 15 years. They don't even warrant that 10 to 15 year sentence. But yet, the oppressor over here, or your heathens, they get probation, slap on the wrist, but this is what you want to vote for. This is the reform that you want to do. It doesn't make any sense. But you're voting. You should know by now your vote does not count. It hasn't counted back then, and it's not counting now. But yet, they're soothsaying you to sleep. And you have to wake up. And you have to understand that this voting is not for us. It wasn't done like that in the Bible, and nothing's newer than the sun, so it shouldn't be done like that right now. All right, continue reading.
Verse 18. And I commanded you at that time and all the things which ye should do. Verse 19. And when we departed from Horeb, we went through all the great and terrible wilderness, which ye saw by the way of the mountain of the Amorites, as the Lord our God commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea.
Kadesh, that's right. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And I said unto you, ye are come unto the mountain of the Amorites, which the Lord our God doth give unto us. Verse 21. Behold, the Lord thy God hath set the land before thee. Go up and possess it. And the Lord God of thy fathers hath said unto thee, fear not, neither be discouraged.
Okay, you stop right there. And that's what I wanted to bring out to you, man. God said, fear not, don't be discouraged. This is how we picked our leaders back then. And I got a couple more examples, and a couple more people that was picked the similar way. Because I want to get it to you in your mind that we didn't pick anybody else outside of Israel to rule over us. We just did it. That's not how it worked. And so why would you actually pick somebody who is over you now? I mean, think about it. If you at your job now, I was in Esau's military for a while, coming through the ranks, enlisted men. And if anybody know about the military, you know you're enlisted men. We got these guys coming in straight from college, straight into as a captain or lieutenants and whatnot. And we didn't respect them. Why didn't we respect them? Because they didn't go through the ranks like we did. Now, they wanted me to go and become a captain and all this good stuff. And I didn't do that. I ended up getting out eventually. But however, they respect people who come through the ranks, going through the same things you go through, and then becoming something greater, so now you can give back to your people. That's where the respect comes from. And that's why you want to pick within, even within your job. If you have somebody, that's why we have the unions. Because the unions, they understand what you're going through. They've been through, they go through the same work you go through. So if there's a problem, they can assist you with it because they understand the whole problem of what you're going through. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Am I lying to you? Is this not real? Thank you. Because I know I respect somebody who understands. And that's why President Obama was not a good president for us. And you still have people now, I miss my president. What the hell did he do for you? He came out of Hawaii with a white mother and grandparents. He didn't understand your atrocities. He didn't understand where you came from. He came out of nowhere. And now he's a president. He was a president and he did nothing. Now you couldn't get little Ricky, little Ricky, a little Pookie down the street to be a president. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Little Pookie would have came to your rescue. And they know that. Little Pookie would have came to your flight. I don't know if he would have made it because the United States probably wouldn't allow them to do it, but at least he would have tried to do something because he understands where you came from. You came from the barrios. You came from the reservation camp. You came from the hood. He understands that, so he understands your plight. He's going to try to help you. All right? So we're going to go with another, give me Joshua 1 through 10. Let me get there with you.
All right.
Read it when you got it.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 1. Now, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses, minister, saying.
Here we go. I'm going to start right there. In the beginning, he said it again. Now, after the death of Moses, the Lord spoke. Again, the Lord is choosing somebody. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 2. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Verse 3. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you. And I said unto Moses. Verse 4. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea toward the going down of the sun shall be your coast.
Stop right there for a minute. Do y'all know that area what he's talking about? The wilderness and the Lebanon, even to the great rivers, the river of Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites. Do you understand what you're talking about, what area this is at?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
When you look at that region, according to the description that the Most High gives in the book of Joshua and in Deuteronomy, it encompasses that whole Middle Eastern area, what they're talking about. Just a few places we don't control in that area.
Damn right.
From the Great River Nile to the Great River Euphrates, all that, we run all the land in between except for a few patches outside of the land.
Hey, right. It's like you don't understand. Hey, that's right, Worry. That's good. You just don't understand how big of the land that the Most High promised to give to us. You can't fathom how big it is. All that whole region over there it belongs to us. It belongs to the children of Israel. We're going to go get it. Those people who over there who's inhabiting our land right now, the Middle East, the Southern East, all the Eastern, that's all us. That's all of us. That's our land that God had promised it. And it said it again to Moses. He promised that land to us. And now he said it again. This is the land that I promised you from your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Again, this ain't no joke. The Most High promises that land. You think that promise is gone away from us, Israel, right now? But I'm going to tell you, your pastors and the senators and your governors, they're not going to let you know that. They think you're going to rule your same little house area. That's the only land you're going to rule right now. And you're not going to get any wider than that. But the Most High promises these lands, and his promises will come to pass. Keep reading.
Verse 5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Verse 6. Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest.
I will not stop saying this. Law, statutes, commandments. This is what we based on. This is exactly what it is. You follow the law, statutes, commandments, you see what the Most High is saying right now. Don't turn left or to the right. So when you're out there voting, you're turning left. You're turning right. You see what's happening right now. You got protests all in the streets. Now is a good opportune time to go out there and cast your ballot for voting right now. Because no one is seeing the truth. Everybody's seeing this chaoticness going on. So the laws that the Most High God is giving you, you neglect them. But it says here, go ahead.
It's so heavy that you bring that point out about, going right and left from the Most High with that voting thing.
Mm-hmm.
In Georgia, just last night, I was watching the news today. Some people didn't even get the chance to vote that showed up to the poll because of the machines weren't working, and then the lines were long. They extended the time to 9 o'clock in the evening, and everybody still didn't get a chance to vote. So going to vote is really just a waste of time. You going to vote, you could have been at the grocery store, going to do some stuff for your house or with your rib or what have you doing, whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But you give the oppressor so much credit in controlling your life that you fail to realize if you just focus that attention, that time that you're putting in them on your own people, we can get ourselves out of this situation.
That's right. Now you're absolutely right. And everybody's saying what's going on in the world. They said the coronavirus, oh, it's a hoax. The killing of George Floyd, the brother, oh, it's a hoax. But damn it, the polls are a hoax. It's the same thing that happened, 4 years ago? Lines are too long.
Damn right.
Machines don't work. The same thing happened 8 years ago. The lines don't work. It's too long. They're stopping black people from voting. It's the same stuff that goes on over and over and over, and we still don't get it. That's a hoax in itself, the voting. Go ahead. Somebody says you like it.
Yeah, this triple Kashan. Just was so heavy that more brothers, above me, just repeating what they're saying about, the other nations and stuff. You never hear them at the when they're going around to different rallies and stuff like that, urging people to vote. You never hear them boasting about we need to get more Chinese votes, or we need to get more African votes and stuff. They always talking about either we need to get always the white population or it's always the black population. They're never talking about getting the votes and stuff on the other nations.
Right.
The other nations don't give a damn who's running the country. So they already got what they need to got. They're already together. The Chinese together got their trade system going on, and their culture going on. The Japanese got theirs. I mean, the African got theirs. Everybody, even the Irishman, he's a little separate from him and the Amish. They're a little separate, but they still got their own thing going on. Never hear none of them running talking about they got to get their popular vote.
You damn right.
Vote for them.
That's right. Now you're right, brother, because they don't give a damn about them. They don't give a damn about the United States. They're over here to make their money and get out of here. They go right back to their countries. They don't give a damn about the Latin, the Spanish, and the so-called blacks and Native American in this country. They don't care. And the reason why they want to vote, you know why? Because it's so damn many of us. It's a lot of us. I mean, the Bible says that Abraham is going to be the father of many. Now, you look at the nation of Israel went into Egypt, 70 people strong? Came out over millions of people. So look at us now. There's so many blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans here. That's why you can't count just the so-called black people as part of Israel and exclude everybody else. Because it's a lot of us. Yeah. That ain't the sands of the stars or sands of the sea. Then you add in the Native Americans. And then you add in the Latino population, the Hispanics. That's the sand of the sea. There's too many of us there. So if they can get the population vote from us and the blacks and Hispanics to get it in, it's a shoe-in. And you see Hillary Clinton got how many votes she got from us? And still didn't get the presidency, because they're going to put in office who they want to put in office. Somebody says, Slaggy, go ahead.
Yeah, Colin Cuz, sir. Just with that right there, he just said to say, like, even if they was, like, you know what I'm saying, especially the Chinese, the Africans, or, the East Indians, even if they was pressing on the vote, at the same time, it's the same to say, they not going to vote for no devil, they not going to vote for no other heathen nation.
That's right.
They going to vote for their own people. Right.
Damn right. And because they understand that putting somebody over them ain't right. We're just the only nuts that's running around believing that somebody who's not of us can run us and rule over us.
Damn right.
We're the only one who think that.
Damn right.
That's how you know we still slaves in our mind. We still in slavery, man. Physically and mentally. But here in I.S.U.P.K, we're trying to knock that mental oppression off your mind right now. Yeah, we be physically in this oppression area over here, but we're trying to knock that mental oppression off your mind, man, and get into the I.S.U.P.K and understand the methodology of what's going on. Understand that you see right through this voting stuff and the killing of our unarmed black men, and we're going to bring it to you. So keep reading on that, young man, Quentin. Keep reading. What we got left? Where we at?
On time, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Okay, read it.
Verse 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
Can you read it?
Verse 10. Then Joshua commanded the officer of the people, saying.
There you go. We can start right there. we're going back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You have to remember the stuff that your forefathers told you. You have to remember these things. You just can't forget all the stuff that's been done. Contrary to what they believe, they want you to forget all the stuff, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't forget any of the information that you found that in the history books that they so-called given us. And it's a lot of that stuff in there tells you what happened to us. But you got to read between the lines. But you shouldn't forget all this stuff. Give me what's that? Give me Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. Yeah, 32. 32. All right. Give me a second, Homer. 32. And 7. Read 7 through 9.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will shew thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Stop right there. Remember the days of old. When they say remember the days of old, they're telling you to go back into this book. Go back to the Old Testament and look what happened to the children of Israel. Look what we're going on. Look at the history. Go back and understand slavery. Go back and listen to your forefathers and see what they told you about the so-called oppressor. They agreed that he was the devil as well. They just wasn't saying this for their health. I know my grandmother, she told me a lot of things about it. And I still was in my mind, we're going to join with the oppressor. We're going to forgive them for things that we did, that they done. And it's a big lie. Only if I would have listened to them and understood what they meant and not trying to merge into these people and joining hands with them, I would probably be better off. We would all be better off if we just listened to our forefathers and found out how this country was built and to where it is now. Because they tell you right now, it's all the rioting and looting, and we should stop it, and we can't do anything by burning down the buildings and this and that. But wasn't that how America built? By rioting? That's how 13 colonies became United States. Rioting, killing, all these wars that took place, all these treaties that they broke. But yet they want to call us savages. They want to call us wrong. But we learned that from them. That's embedded in the fabric of America. Because this is exactly what they did. And now they look at us like we out here protesting. And in some the thing is, the protest we're doing, it's not even all black people out there. We went to the protest, and there was more whites than there was black out there.
Yeah, right.
I'm passing through Woodstock, a part in Georgia. There was nothing but white people. Not one black man, not one black person out there. So what are they really saying? What are they really doing out there? They really love black people like that? Like that? If they love black people like that and Hispanics like that, then we shouldn't be in the situation right now that we're in. If they loved us that hard. Police are still murdering people. We got one of my Hispanic brothers who just got murdered the other day, man. I think his name was Ramos. Cop killed him. Asked his family to walk out the door. They walked out. He stayed in there, put a bag over his head. He didn't make it out. Dead. No one knows what happened in there. Hispanic brother. And they're going to tell me that we're not all one? Somebody need to tell me something. We all one. Lord forbid about the Native Americans. And going back to the Democratic Party, man, what's his name? Not Thomas Jefferson, but Andrew Jackson. That was one of the worst heathenistic people out there, man. Nasty. This man was nasty. We got schools named after. We got monuments built after these people. So we want to vote. But we got our kids going to Andrew Jackson School. Thomas Jefferson Academy. Not knowing the history of these people. That's what I'm saying. Remember what your forefathers told you. You would know this. Don't forget this stuff. I mean, Andrew Jackson was so bad that I don't know what he had. He had a perpetual hate for the Native Americans, man. This man started the Trail of Tears. It ran our Native brothers from one side of the country to the other side. And then gave them a blanket to keep warm with. They gave them smallpox. And killed millions of them, man. But this is the country that you say you want to vote for. That you want to have some input on. And they ain't listening to you. They're not listening to us at all. They just want your vote. Matter of fact, the Democratic and the Republican Party are just two powerful white people jockeying for power. You have nothing to do with it. Just imagine if you just leave them alone. Let them have it. And then come back to I.S.U.P.K. and run it the way we're reading right now in the scriptures. Have Yahanna we already have it set up. So we have the generals, we have the captains, we have the officers. We have it set up the same way the Bible says to have it up. There's no prospective persons. Just imagine if we come back to those laws, statutes, and commandments, and we run it the way the Bible tells us to run it. And let them have what they have. You know what you'll have? You have us rising up. And then we'll declare war, because what's going to happen in Tulsa, Oklahoma is not going to happen with I.S.U.P.K, because we will fight.
Damn right.
We will fight and protect us. We will protect you. So that won't happen. It'll be a throwdown and it'll go down. Damn right. Hey, keep reading on that, man. Go back, read from the beginning.
Verse 7.
Right.
Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will shew thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. Verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Ain't that something? That tells you we run the world. He set the bounds to us. He gave the inheritance where people had to give the inheritance to. He gave the Japanese their little stuff. They gave, the Hindu people their little stuff. And they gave us ours. So therefore, we wasn't made to be mingled in. If we wasn't made to be mingled in, we had our own type of a system. They had their government system. We had ours. It was not supposed to be, let me join into their system and let them join our system. And now you have what we have now. A bunch of damn chaos and killing of unarmed black men right here in our world. That's what you have. And you have protesting. Can you read it?
Verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
That's it right there, Maury. That's all I wanted to bring out, man. Give me Hosea 4 and 6. Because there's things that we don't know and we need to know it. And the reason why we don't know this thing is because we lack in information. And right now, it shouldn't be a lack of information. You should be able to go ahead and pull up on your phone, the smartphone, and find out the information that we have. What you're looking for. Find out about these Democratic, Republican parties. Because you just can't. And if you're out there voting and you're agreeing with all the politicians and what they're saying, if you vote for somebody, you're agreeing with what they're saying wholeheartedly. I got some of these. I'm reading on my timeline, and I see people we grew up with, Caucasians and all other people, and they're saying, "Oh, I didn't know all this was going on. I voted for Donald Trump, but I didn't know." You knew, because he ran his what did he run his? What did Donald Trump run his campaign off of? Anybody know?
What?
Somebody says, "Like you." Go ahead. Go ahead, young man Quentin. What did he run his campaign off of?
Well, basically, he ran it off of racism, but it was based upon building the wall for the Mexicans.
Damn right. The Mexicans got him elected, damn near. And they agreed to that. So you can't look at me and say, well, I like Donald Trump's policy in this, but I don't like it in this. No. If you're going to vote for this man, you vote for all of it. So if you voted for all of it, I'm holding you responsible for this man in office. If you voted for that man, I hold you responsible for this man in his office. Go ahead.
Lucky, the same thing with Barack Obama.
Damn right.
His whole thing was gay marriage.
Gay marriage.
So you vote for Barack Obama, you supporting gay marriage.
You supporting gay marriage. If you voted for Barack Obama, which most of us Negroes did, you voted for Barack Obama. You voted for gay marriages, because that's all he gave us. So you got to be careful voting for these people, man, because you're going to take in all their philosophies. You just can't take out one and put in another and take that out. No, you agree with everything they said. Everything. And that's why voting, you shouldn't do it. Because on one hand, they'll give you what they want to give you. On the other hand, they take it away from you, or they'll slap you with it. And then 2 years later, you upset. But you can't be upset because you voted for him. You didn't understand what he wanted. You didn't read all of his policies. Read that for me. Hosea 4 and 6.
Final one time. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
There you go.
That thou
Go ahead.
That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
There you go, right there in a nutshell, pretty much. Read it from top again. I don't think they got it. Hold your peace. Hold on. Let me read it again. Go ahead.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What I was saying earlier, you don't read the Bible. You think you know the Bible. You don't want to come to I.S.U.P.K and learn the real truth. You want to go to the Christian pastors and you want to have faith in them. You want to go to the polls and vote and have faith in them. Well, the history already told you exactly what the Christian pastors have done. It already told you what these senators and governors has done. Read it up. Look at your phone. It's called a smartphone. And get all the information that you need. Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. They don't read this Bible. And they don't read history. History is repeating itself over and over and over again. The same stuff that's happening right now happened in Egypt. Police brutality happened in Egypt. But we're destroyed for lack of knowledge. And when you have lack of knowledge, keep reading.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Most High is rejecting us. If you're not following these laws, statutes, commandments, and you're out there voting, the Most High is going to reject you. Everything that you do is going to fail. It's going to blow up in your face. And later on, we're gonna prove this to you later on, and as we keep going on. Somebody says Shalakia?
Calling out of one call. That young man with it. I got a precept. They want to say that Matthew will get real with Hosea 4 and 6.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 13. It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Same thing. Excellent precept. That will back it up. That's a precept to Hosea 4 and 6. Lack of knowledge. We just don't understand some things, man, because we're just not reading. We're not even asking out. Like I said before, we're not asking the forefathers before us who knew what was going on. I guess somehow we want to revamp the world when there's nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing. All the stuff that's been going on has been going on. All you have to do is follow suit I.S.U.P.K. We'll let you know. We'll definitely let you know. Give me Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Hold up. Let me get there. All right, go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
There you go. We've been banging half the night so far. The Most High has been choosing every man that we had. He chose Moses. He chose Joshua. He's been choosing our leaders for us. And within the ranks of who he chose, those leaders have been chosen men to rule Israel. So thou shalt not in any wise set king over thee, whom the Most High God have not chosen. Go ahead.
One from among thy brethren.
Nah, the heathens. Nah, you're going to choose one from the heathen.
Thy brethren.
Nah, you're going to go over to Moab and get one of them Chinese people, them Japanese people to run you.
Thy brethren.
No, you're going to get Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and everybody else, and Donald Trump to rule over you.
Thy brethren.
Your brethren. Who is your brethren? Somebody, we're going to pause right there for a minute. Who is your brethren? Somebody give me, who is your brethren? Is this a secret? Go ahead.
This young man Quentin.
Go ahead, young man Quentin.
Your brother is the one who does the will of your father.
Uh-huh. And who might those probably be? Israel. That's Israel. That's us. You can't choose nobody who is not of your brethren, who's not keeping law, statutes, and commandments to run over you. Because as you see, they chose Al Sharpton. He's Israel. They chose, what's the other guy name? Jesse Jackson. He's Israel. He's our brother. So we say, well, damn, because we got black senators and we got Atlanta full of black governors and senators and stuff like that. They are our brother. Yeah, but the Most High God didn't choose them. They chose themselves, or you chose them. But the Most High God didn't choose them. Because if we would have chose them, we would be in this predicament that we're in. That man would have got killed. So our brother George Floyd got killed with a knee on his neck, and nobody did nothing. Continue reading.
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
And who's the stranger? Who's the stranger?
Rock you.
Go ahead.
Anyone outside of Israel.
Outside of Israel. Those are your strangers, man. And that's what we have right now, running the White House, senators, running your political parties. They're strangers, man. They don't care about George Floyd unless it's going to benefit them. They don't care about Ramos. They don't care about the Native American that's been killed over there on the reservations. Man, there's hundreds of people getting killed on reservations that we don't even hear about. You go over to Navajo over in New Mexico and them regions like that and look at them Native Americans, man. They're going through hell the same way we're going through hell. And no one's giving a damn about it. That's not being televised. And these things that are being televised, even that is a deterrence from what's going on right now. Also, cops are still killing us. So they didn't stop it at all. And now you want to vote. Let me know how it work out. When you select those people who are in office, let's see if you hear from them again. Because they're not your brother. And the Most High didn't choose them. So why are you choosing them? And I mean, it puts it in perspective for me. If the Most High God didn't choose them, what makes you think you know more than the Most High God to choose them for? Keep reading.
Verse 16. And he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses, for as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. So
now we're going into multiplying things. Now that sounds like, who has all the all the wealth and the riches and they multiplied? Because anybody tell me, what who's doing this? Who's this talking about right now? In our world right now today?
Rocky.
Go ahead.
That would be the Edomites.
Yes, that's Edomites. That's right. Who else?
Salak.
Go ahead.
Salak, sir.
Go ahead.
Are you referring to the Christian leaders?
Crefo Dollar. Pastor Dollar. They're multiplying these things amongst themselves, man. The heathens as well as the Israelites, who we call Israel, who have not been chosen by the Most High God. They get all these things, the Catholic Church, the Christian Church, the senators, the governors. They have your money in their pocket and not doing a damn thing for you. And they're multiplying their money, and they're multiplying their cars, and they're multiplying these suits and ties, and they're not doing a damn thing for you. Well, Sister Johnson's still over there walking home from church, but yet the pastor's got a Cadillac.
You real kind right now.
Oh yeah, I'm kind. My bad. What do you got? Okay, he got the Bentleys now. What does he have right now? The Christian Church have.
Go
ahead.
The Christian Church right now, they got a fleet of private jets at the different airports. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll be down.
They got all the toys that you dream of. Salakia.
Well, Salakia, excuse me, because I ain't been in the Christian church in don't know how long, and they ain't trying to go back in there. So they're bringing me up to speed about what the Christian church is having. I mean, they got jets. I mean, who does this, man? Who got jets and fleet of jets and your jets setting across different places? How fast you want to get the message to them people across the world? I mean, damn. You have internet, they can get this as fast as a jet. I mean, I don't get it. But these people are multiplying these things amongst themselves and not helping us to do nothing. Before my grandma passed away, she still was putting money in for the building fund. I'm still ain't seen no building fund yet. But this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go back into another. Give me Judges 1 and 3. All right, hold tight, brother. Hold tight, Warrior. Let me get there. Because in those days, we didn't have the what we have now. We have senators and governors. What governed us was these judges. That's what we had. So after Moses and then Joshua, we had to have these judges to govern us. And we're gonna go into these judges, at least one in particular, and find out what they've done after this going on. So go ahead and read. Judges 1 and 3.
Book of Judges, chapter 1, verse 3.
No, Slack it. Judges 1 through 3. Start at 1.
Slack it. Judges 1 and 1. Now through the death of Joshua, it came to pass that the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, who shall go up for us against the Canaanites first, to fight against them? Verse 2. And the Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. Verse 3. And Judah said unto Simeon his brother, come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites. And I likewise will go with thee into thy lot. So Simeon was with him.
So now you have Joshua who's dying. So now we still need somebody to rule. So Most High spoke again, and it said, Judah, let's come on up. Now it's Judah's on deck. Judah's able to rule. And this is how we've been doing it. Now you've seen 3 different occasions, and we're going to go on to some further, where the Most High chose each and every individual that was supposed to rule over us. He didn't go outside the land. He didn't go outside our brethren. He didn't go and grab somebody from a different spot. He chose a brethren who within our own nation of Israel. And we have to bring it back to Israel. We have to choose. The voting is unlawful. It's definitely unlawful. The way they got us voting now, I'm going to break it down a little bit further with voting. You can vote within your own organization. We put a vote out for Israel who want to paint the barracks, blue or red or green. We put a vote out to be equal, to distribute it amongst Israel. So voting within Israel is good. There's an issue going down. We need to say, okay, what's going on? We'll set a judgment, we'll set a vote. We agree with it, we roll with it. So voting in itself is not a bad thing. It's how to keep peace. It's how to make sure democracy is met. How we rule over stuff. We're good. Not no major issues, they'll go ahead and judge on that. But the minor issues, you can vote and get it done. Now, voting the heathenistic way, the heathen way, that's unlawful. Someone outside of Israel that's unlawful. So, all right, where we at? So these are what we had. We had the judges over the land. Now, through the whole book of Judges, you're gonna see some things that's taken apart about how Israel were. You're gonna find the real true meaning of Israel and how we acted. The one thing about the Bible, they don't hold no punches for us. They're gonna show you the good of Israel. They're gonna show the bad of Israel. They're gonna show us coming out of captivity. They're gonna show us going into captivity. And all through the books of Judges, you're gonna see that. If you're going to captivity, we out of captivity. In captivity, we out of captivity. So we're gonna read let's read Judges 2, 1 through 3.
One time. The book is Judges 1 through 3.
Right. Judges 2, verse 1. Start at verse 1.
One time. Verse 1. And the angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochum and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and I brought you unto the land which I swore unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. Verse 2. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land.
You should make what? You start read. Say it again.
You should make no league. You should make no league with the inhabitants of this land.
This is what we did already. This is exactly what we done today. We made league with the inhabitants of this land. This is the same. We're in the same position that we're in back then, today. You just don't think that we're in captivity. We're in captivity in another man's land. And this is how we're supposed to treat them in another man's land. Continue to read.
One time. You should throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this?
This is him asking, why haven't we done it? Why have we thrown down their altars? Why have we said no? Why have we went to these Catholic churches, these Christian churches, and said, Caesar Borgia, that's Caesar Borgia, that is not our God? Why haven't we done that? We went into another land. This is another land. America's another land. This is not Israel. It's only the land of your captivity. You should be able to go into these mosques and say, you know what? This is the real God of Israel. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is what it stated in the Bible. To go into these places and tear down their altars. Take their pictures off the wall. Let them know who your God is. But we're afraid to do that. We sit there and we listen to these Christian pastors and these senators and governors, and we just roll with the punches. They rock us back to sleep. They promise us all these things, and nothing ever comes to pass. and then we go back to sleep. And then rock us back to sleep, and then we wake up a little bit, and we argue about not having this, not having that, and then rock us back to sleep. Same things is happening over and over and over. It's getting redundant. But yet, Hispanic brothers still getting killed. Brothers still getting killed. Native Americans still getting killed. They're still aborting our babies. Still signing laws to abort our children. Still going on. Keep reading.
101 verse 3. Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and your God shall be a snare unto you.
Can anybody tell me what that means?
Slovakia.
Other than you, young man, Quentin. Other than you. You know, you might know. Anybody else want to give it a try?
Slovakia.
Who's that?
Young man Willie.
Okay, go ahead, young man Willie.
When they talk about them, the snares and the trap snares to the people,
Yep.
he just saying that, you know, them folks, the people that he gonna leave out there, they're gonna try you. You know what I'm saying? To see if you really with the Most High or not.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
That's a lot, sir.
Go ahead. Makwala.
Is it also saying like, okay, they say, they shall be as thorns in your side. Basically, like how the devil's thorns on our side, and then like they're going to be a stand to you. Basically, like how that, you know, that fake ass homosexual season, but they're, like it's messing our people up with, you know, just got us all thrown out like this.
Right. Anybody else want to give it a shot? Say, wherefore I also say, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be a thorn in your side, and their God shall be a snare unto you. What's a snare?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
A snare is a trap.
Snare the trap. So understand that the snare the trap, and the Most High is not going to remove these people from among you, and their gods will be a thorn. Give me some examples of how it's a trap for us here now. What's going on now? Because the Most High didn't remove the other nations from us. They're still among us. So give me some examples of snares and traps that they have, that they've been doing to us.
Slovakia, sir. Slovakia, sir.
Somebody said Slovakia first. I'll write that out.
You can go ahead. Is child support one, sir? Slovakia.
Child support is definitely one. I just mentioned to you at the beginning that, Thomas Jefferson had all kind of little kids running around. He ain't paid a dime for them. But they want us to pay child support. They got us on that thing. So that's definitely one. Anybody else? Trooper Gashawn, that was you?
One con, sir. Bowen thinking our enemy is going to actually help us out.
It's like you said again?
I said voting, thinking our enemy is going to actually help us out.
That's a heavy point. That's it. That's it right there, mainly. What I'm trying to get at. That's one of the nails. That's one of the snares and the traps that they set before us. Yeah, vote for this one. We get prison reform. Okay, vote for over here. We're gonna give you more money on a tax cut. Not for you. You don't make that much. These are all the snares and lies and traps they try to give us, man. And we fall for it every damn time. When are we gonna wake up? When are we gonna wake up? Our children are going through to a school that's not even, you can't even get books in the inner city. But yet they keep promising that the superintendent that we get this year is going to be the best superintendent. Well, they promise it all the time. And our schools have not gotten better yet. Education system still on the blink. Still teaching the same stuff they taught out before that. Now they're trying to revamp how they taught us. Instead of teaching about slavery now, it's what, a migration? We done migrated over here? That's what it is now. It's a migration now. It ain't slavery no more. Now they're teaching us that BS. I'm sure my ancestors didn't want to be on a boat. It was a boat ride over here, drinking Mai Tais and coming over here to work the land. No. Somebody said Salakia?
Going out of one con.
Go ahead.
So heavy of a point that you bring out about the school system and people, you know what I'm saying, not being able to buy the books and all that. The reason you can't get the books is because the government officials and government agencies are giving all the money to the police so they can buy tanks and stuff like that. So
yeah, they're in the streets of Atlanta. I seen all of them. They're on our streets. We got tanks and all kind of stuff, but they're getting paid pretty decently. And I mean, I heard a sister tell me a couple days ago. She told me, no, her brother was telling me that his mother or his aunt, somebody was afraid to use the food stamp card, government assistance. Yeah, you better use this. They owe it to you. They owe it. I wish you would give me a food stamp card. You owe it to us. Don't be afraid. Somebody says like you? Somebody says like you? Everybody put their phones on mute. Somebody's phone is off mute. You got it? Okay. All right, the water. Yeah, man. I mean, if the government going to give it to you, use every damn thing the government gives you, man. It's yours. They owe you that and more. So, yes, these are some of the traps that they got us in. I mean, you out there marching around, voting, and, you know, that's the main trap that they got us in now, lying to us. And, man, they continue to lie to us, and we just keep taking it, man. So when you going to wake up? Voting is not for us. The voting system they got us in is not for us. All right, did we finish that up? Okay, good to go. Drop me down on Samuel 1.
Sir, could you repeat that, please?
Samuel 1. 1 Samuel 1. Starting at verse 1. We're going to start at verse 1. Yeah, go ahead, Sister Laki. Go ahead, Makwala.
Could this be like a precept, you know what I'm saying, referring to like to the voting, so to speak, like how, when you mention stuff with Jefferson, like they got no about and all them, like, could this be a precept showing like how we shouldn't be following them?
Okay, go ahead, give it to me.
Could you get it? So let's break that. So like, it's Luke chapter 16, verse 15. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, that Yahweh knoweth your heart. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Yahweh.
And why would you think that's a precept to that?
Because, you know, they pretty much esteem, like, okay, they justify themselves like they righteous, and we need to follow them, even to the Christian pastor, because sometimes they vote in the church, so who's going to be the next pastor? You know what I'm saying? And
that's
then
right.
they esteem themselves like they, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you can use that precept. You're right on point with it. You can use that precept. Because they do esteem themselves higher than what they really are. They put themselves on the pedestal, and they rock hands in hand with the oppressors in the voting, because the number one thing that the pastors do, the pastors get out and rally with the actual senators who's coming into the neighborhoods. There's many churches that link up with these people, and the first place they go is to the Christian church. They talk to the pastors give them the rundown of the city, and they go out there walking the neighborhood. And that's your Christian leaders getting these senators into your neighborhood, walking them in your neighborhood to get your vote. Go ahead, somebody say Salakia.
Calling out of one con, sir. The young man Willie. What you just said is so heavy, and I'll take it even a step further. When I was coming up in the Christian church, the big thing was learn how to play golf, so you can go out there and be with the people that make the decisions in the community, the higher up, pale-faced, pepperwood bastards, so you can be around them, so that you can you know, at least throw your opinion out on whatever they got going on, you know, and even with that, the pastors now, most of all your pastors, they play golf to the point of they're taking the tithes money and going and play golf so they can be up under them senators and all that stuff and receive them little so-called donations so that they can juice the people up to go out here and do whatever they want them to do based on the fact that, you know, your pastor ain't nothing but a glorified pep rally leader.
Ain't that a damn snake in the grass, man? Golf. Yeah, I heard that when I was coming up too. I definitely heard that. Play golf. That's where all the deals have been made on the golf course. And if these pastors are doing that, man, the Most High got something for them. But these are what your pastors are doing, believe it or not. These are what your pastors are hooking up with these senators, and their pastors are literally walking them into your neighborhood. Walking them into your neighborhood, man. But we got something for him. Now this, I'm going ahead and drop that. We're gonna go start with 1 Samuel 1 through 20. We're gonna do a little bit of reading on this because I want to show you how this all came about of Saul, of Samuel, how he was born, what his mother went through, because it has some significance into his life. So I want to give you a snapshot into his life when he was born, what he went through, and we're gonna bring it to speed. So go ahead, start reading verse 1.
Out of one time, 1 Samuel 1, verse 1. Now there was a certain man of Ramathazophim.
Man, damn good. You got that. Go ahead.
Of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroboam, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. Verse 2. And he had two wives.
Okay.
The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children.
Okay, I'm gonna stop and pause right there for Salaki for the sisters here. You know, I'm gonna slide a little sidebar in. he had two wives. The name of Hannah and the name of Peninnah. Now we gonna go a little sidebar, but this is not unlawful. This is just how they was doing things back in Israel. This is how we did it. So this world is not of our world. So I just wanted to bring that out. Oh, continue reading.
Out of one time. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Ephani, Phinehas, the priest, the Lord, were there.
Now this is this is what they were doing. They was going up to, it's like almost like Day of Atonement once a year, that they would go up in the yearly and give their offerings up to him. And those two men, Hophni and Phinehas, they were priests that was actually, chose by the Most High. So they was chosen by the Most High God. So keep reading.
At one time. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portions.
He gave all them portions to be sacrificed unto the priest. Go ahead.
Verse 5. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut her womb.
Keep reading.
Verse 6. And her adversary also provoked her sore, but to make her fret, because the Lord had shut her womb.
Ain't that just like Israel? Picking at people? I mean, the woman can't have no children. Instead of, got to be sisterhood and brotherly about it. You make her feel like she's okay, but now they taunted this lady because she couldn't have any children. Go ahead.
Not one kind. Verse 7. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Verse 8. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons?
The reason why I said he's better than 10 sons, because having sons at that time was the heir to a lot of things. So having sons had you feeling like, not that daughters was insignificant. That's not what it is. But they were the bloodline we went through. Israel went through the bloodline of men. So therefore, having 10 sons, that's why he references having 10 sons. Isn't he better than 10 sons? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 9. So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. Verse 10. And he was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. Verse 11. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head.
Hold right there. Let me get this. That's admirable right there, man. Because most of us have children, and we think that most of the women and men think that those children are ours. Those children are not your children. They belong to the Most High. They belong to God. Those children belong to God. So this woman was telling, vow to God, you give me this child, I'll give him back to you. And not a hair on his head will be a razor be used, which means she's going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments on this. And she was praying to the Most High God. So women, if something's going on in your life, this is how you do it. This is how you respond. You reach out to the Most High God and you talk to him. If you got to get another sister, get on one accord with him, get on one accord with him. But you seek the Lord, and he will answer you if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Someone says, Salakia?
I don't want to concert.
Go ahead.
Quentin.
Go ahead.
The question that I have is does this have anything to do with the Nazarite vow?
No. This is not the Nazarite vow. Nazarite vow was something totally different. This is just saying she was saying that she's not going to shave his head. She's going to keep the laws written by him. The Nazarite vow is something totally different, which I don't want to get into because I wouldn't want to be a Nazarite because you can't drink. Go ahead. Hope that answers your question. All right,
Verse
go ahead.
12. And it came to pass that she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Verse 13. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart. Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. Verse 14. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. Verse 15. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but I've poured out my soul before the Lord.
This woman poured out her soul before the Lord. That's how you do it. You want to be a virtuous woman, pour your soul out to the Most High God when you're going through issues or you have a problem. Pour it out to him. Continue.
On one kind. Verse 16. Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial. For out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Verse 17. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. Verse 18. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way, and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. Verse 19. And they rose up in the morning early, and worshipped before the Lord, and returned, and came to their house of Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her.
Anybody know what the word "new" in this Bible means? For those who are new to the class, the word "new."
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
The word "new" means he laid down and knew what he was getting into.
All right.
He knew her.
He knocked them boots. That's what he did. That's what the word "new" means. So he knew her. Continue read.
Verse 20. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord.
There we go. I just wanted to get you a little preview into how Samuel was brought about, and the woman and the man that came from the loins of that. These people, this man, Elkanah, he was went up every year to give offerings unto the Most High God. That man was righteous. He was a righteous brother. And the wife that he had, both was righteous as well. They followed him. He raised his family. And that woman who couldn't have any children, he was good to her as well. And she poured out herself unto the Most High God. And that's what we all have to do. And because she poured out, and she kept doing it continuously, and she kept doing the right thing, Most High brought her out Samuel. And this is how Samuel came to be. Now we're going to see how God selected Samuel. Give me 1 Samuel 3, verse 1.
Another one kind. Another one kind. Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 3, verse 1. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli. And the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. Verse 2. And it came to pass at that time, when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. Verse 3. And ere the lamp of God went out into the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep.
All this passage is saying that they was going to sleep. Eli was closing his eyes, and he was going to sleep. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I.
Okay. Keep going.
Verse 5. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I. And thou callest me? And he said, I call not. Lie down again. And he went and lay down. Verse 6. And the Lord called yet again Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli, and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son. Lie down again. Verse 7. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him.
Okay, so what's going on is that Samuel's hearing voices. He was hearing something, calling his name. And he thought it was the high priest, Eli. So he go to Eli and say, hey, did you call me? Like, nah, man, I ain't call you, go to sleep. I ain't call you, hearing things or whatever. And so the word of God, hey, this hasn't been revealed to Samuel as who God really is, and that God will speak to you at that time. He didn't really understand that part because it wasn't brought to his attention at that time. Now, he knew the law, statutes, commandments, but he didn't understand that the Most High would speak to him at that point because he was speaking to all the other prophets before him. And he kept hearing voices, so he's going to Eli, the high priest, and asking him, did you call me? And he always say, nah, I didn't call you. Go back and lay down. That's why it's over and over, let you know what's going on. Keep going.
Verse 8. And the Lord called Samuel again the third time. He arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child.
Can you read it?
Verse 9. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. Verse 10. And the Lord came and stood and called as at the other time, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of everyone that heareth it shall tingle.
Jump me back up to verse 10 again.
Verse 10. And the Lord came and stood and called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth.
Did anybody else go through this? That's on the line. That's on Facebook in the class. Did anybody go through this? I know I did. I didn't hear a voice, but I was going through so much damn turmoil in my life that the Most High was calling me, and I was just rejecting that call. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I go to Christian church. I heard this. Nah. That's why we ended up in I.S.U.P.K. Because the Most High God was calling us, and you answered the call. That's why you're on this line. That's why you're on the Facebook. That's why you're on the YouTube. Because you're answering the call, and you got in with I.S.U.P.K. because you answered that call. I know it happened to me. And it happened to you as well. Somebody said Salakia? All right, go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 11. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of everyone that heareth it shall tingle.
That's also what happened to us. He did a thing in Israel. When I came in, everybody's ears were tingling. My mother asked me what's going on. Cousin thought I fell off without going crazy. I started dressing a little differently. I started talking a little differently. Everybody was tingling. The whole Israel was tingling. That's announcing what's going on. It's synonymous to going on for what's going on there and what's going on in our life right now. Some of your parents are wondering that you're on this coat. Because God has the Most High has done a new thing with you within Israel. And it's changing you.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
That's so heavy that you said that about a cult. Everybody in my family told me I'm a part of a cult, this, that, and the third. And when I first came into the truth, you know what I'm saying, I would, get angry with that. But now, I don't get angry with it no more. When they tell me I'm in a cult, I'm just telling them now, I might be in a cult, but understand that I'm in a cult. I'm trying to be a cult leader.
Damn right. If you're going to be in the cult, be the damn leader. So that's what we are. And I'm sure everybody's been going through something similar to what we're going through. Parents thinking that we're crazy and thinking we're in the cult, and you over here with these men with these wives, and you over here, you're going to these Sabbath classes, and you're wearing all these dresses and head wraps, and I'm sure, but that's our culture, man. That's what we supposed to harness our culture with us, man. That's a new thing in Israel that he's going for you. He's showing you this is Israel. It's a new thing in Israel that he's showing you. Go ahead.
Verse 12. In that day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. Verse 13. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth, because his son made themselves vile, and he restrained them not.
What does that sound like?
Verse 14.
No, read that again. Read 13 again.
Verse 13. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth, because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not.
That sounds like the Christian church as well again. Because some of these Christian pastors know who you are. They know some of these scriptures in the Bible, but they won't bring it to you. They won't say nothing about it. So they will be judged for the iniquities that they're allowing themselves to be put onto us, that they're telling us false lies and not telling us the truth. So the Most High will visit them again. So these Christian churches, the Catholic mosques, all of them know these things, but they're not telling you the truth. God don't like that. God hates that. And they will be judged for that. Keep reading.
Verse 14. And therefore I have sworn unto the house of Eli, that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be purged with sacrifice nor offering forever. Verse 15. And Samuel lay unto the morning, and opened the doors of the house of the Lord. And Samuel feared to shew Eli the vision. Verse 16. Then Eli called Samuel, and said, Samuel, my son. And he answered, Here am I.
Now this vision that he's got, Eli wants to know what the vision's all about. Samuel said, all right, you want to hear it? I'm going to let you hear it. Go ahead.
Verse 17, and he said, What is the thing that the Lord hath said unto thee? I pray thee hide it not from me. God do so to thee, and more also, if thou hide anything from me of all the things that he said unto thee. Verse 18, and Samuel told him every whit, and hid nothing from him. And he said, It is the Lord. Let him do what seemeth him good. Verse 19, and Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did let not of his words fall to the ground. Salakia.
Can you read?
Verse 20, and all Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord.
He's established to be what?
Verse 21, a prophet of the Lord.
You can stop right there. Most High has picked Samuel, man. Pick Moses, Joshua, pick Samuel. And he'll go on and pick Saul and the rest of them, and all the rest of the prophets and the priests that's going along. But there's a new thing done also. As Israel does, that wasn't good enough for Israel. They wanted something different. Israel wanted to be what we are right now. They wanted somebody over them. They wanted something new. They wanted to do something different. And I'm going to show you what they wanted. Go over to 1 Samuel 8:1, verse 1. This is what's going on with Israel. They didn't like what was going on, that the Most High was picking the leaders to run. They wanted something totally different. This is going to change the dynamics of things. Read it when you got it.
First Samuel.
Oh, hold on, Slacky. You got what's Radar Awalam? Trooper.
Yeah, Khan, sir.
Are you there? You ready to read?
Khan, sir.
Ate the water, young man, quitting for that. Appreciate you, Baba Kashar. Thank you. The water. Okay, Baba Kashar, go ahead, Trooper. Go ahead and read it out. This is 1 Samuel 8 and 1.
Khan. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 8, verse 1. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now the name of his firstborn was Joel.
You skip down to 3.
And the name of his...
Skip down to 3.
Okay. Verse 3. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment.
So his sons, Samuel's sons, didn't walk in the way of him. They took lucre, filthy lucre, which is what? Money. They took bribes and perverted judgments. That's what's going on today. They're taking bribes from your senators and your governors. They're taking money from them so they can be up in the cabinet member. That's what's happening today. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah. Verse 5. And said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
There we go. They didn't like what God was doing. They wanted their own king. They wanted their own king like all the other nations. This is what they wanted. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord.
So why was Samuel displeased? What irritated him? Anybody know why Samuel was displeased with that? Somebody say Slacky?
Young man with it.
Go ahead, young man.
The reason he was displeased is because throughout the generations of Israel, throughout that point, that's how Israel was ran. It was ran by men being chosen that are known and wise understanding throughout those generations. So for them to go against it, what's been working, they'll make any man upset. So
That's right. And in fact, like you said, he's been reading the scriptures. He knows what's going on. It's been followed, passed down. So now it's falling on him like, damn, am I not ruling the right way? What's going on? So he was displeased. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee. But they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I shall not reign over them.
So they just said to the Most High God, we don't want you to reign over us. Ain't that something, man? He's been doing this from generation to generation and promised you the land, give you this, put you in and out of war. In the whole book of First Judges and Second Judges, you've been in captivity, you cry to the Most High, he saves you, and you're back in captivity by serving other gods. He saves you, you get out of captivity, you go back and serve other gods, you're back in captivity. He's been doing this relentless. It's been a thing throughout whole Judges. He got him out of Egypt, and now they say, I don't want you to be reigning over us. We want a kingdom, a nation like somebody else. We want to be like the heathens. We want a king over us. We want a president. We want President Donald Trump over us. We want the Senator Joe Biden. We want Joe Biden to run for us now. We don't want Commander General Yahanna. We better take Joe Biden. This is what they're saying to the Most High God. Not knowing the Most High God could have killed all of them right then and there. That's how much he loved Israel. To say, you know what, this is what you want? I'm going to give you what you want. And we're going to keep reading to find out what the Most High God going to tell them. Keep reading. Go ahead.
Verse 8. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me,
And unto this day, we're still serving other gods. Unto this day. Till this day, we're still serving other God, and God still haven't wiped us off the face of this earth right now, and He could have. Till this day. Keep reading.
Verse 9. Now, therefore, hearken unto their voice. Howbeit yet, protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
Now, you want a king over you? Show them what type of king is going to happen. Tell them what kind of king they're signing up for. Read.
Verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. Verse 11. And he says, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you.
You want a king?
He will take
okay, I'm going to give you a king. And this is what this king going to do to you. Read.
He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariot, and to be his horsemen. And some shall run before his chariot.
Sound like he's going to run all over you. Keep reading.
Verse 12. And he will appoint him captains over thousands, and captains over 50, and will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariot.
Sound like slavery. What we've been into already, we already went through time and time and time again. Keep reading.
Verse 13. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers.
You know what confectionery is? For time's sake, I'm going to give it to you. It's perfume makers. They're going to start making perfumes and whatnot. And you're going to be cooks. And you're going to clean. That's what you want for a king. Go ahead. Keep going.
Verse 14. And he will take your field, and your vineyard, and your olive yard, even the best of them, and give them to his servants.
Sound like the Christian church. They take all your tithes into the storehouse. They take all your tithes and money, and all the deacons and the deaconesses and the altar. All those people get the stuff that you don't get. Keep reading.
Verse 15. And he will take a tenth of your seed and of your vineyard, and give it to his officers and to his servants.
Go ahead.
Verse 16. And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your asses, and put them to his work. Verse 17. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and ye shall be his servants. Verse 18.
That sounds like a lot of slavery. That's the job. All the slavery that we're doing right now, that sounds like a job that we're doing. On my job, on my slavery, we call slavery, because this is the job we do here. We call slavery. That's what we're doing. On your slavery, you working for your master. And all the money that you coming in, the taxes that they're taking out from you, they're giving it to the governments. They're taking your money, saying they're creating roads with it. It's not. The roads are still messed up. They're taking it in the pocket of your money. That's what all this is saying. It's bringing you right back to America. If you want a king, this is what's going to happen to you. Because he understood that the king that you chose, well, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me slow down. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Colossians, sir.
Go ahead.
It's so heavy that you bring out that point right there about, the greed of the leadership and how they take the money from the taxes and half your paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
You can go further than that. Once the government takes your money from the taxes and all that, and then the preacher come and rob you, you got to pay bills, you got to pay your car insurance, the light bill and all that. Everything that you get go right back to this Peckerwood oppressor that we got, over us right now.
Damn right.
People don't understand that we separate and come to ourselves, we ain't got to worry about it. But because we want a king, we got to deal with being poor.
You got to deal with this bull. That's right. And that's all this verse is telling us. All this verse is giving you is you're going to work. You're going to work, and your money is going to be given up. Because they understand the king that you're setting over him, he understood their heart. He understood what was going to happen. Keep reading. Thank you for that, Warrior. Stawada.
Verse 18. And ye shall cry out in that day, because your king, which ye shall, because of your king, which ye shall have chosen you, and the Lord will not hear you in that day.
That's that day is today. That day is right now. You crying out because you picked that king. That's not what the Most High picked for you. You chose that president. You chose to go to the voting booths and the polls to pick this president. You chose to get that governor, that senator, that police, that commissioner. You chose that because people told you to rock the vote. If your vote counts, and you know damn well your vote don't count. I mean, you got the president calling. I mean, Colin Kaepernick damn near kneel for this stuff, man. Tried to put us on to this stuff, and we still ignored it. I mean, I think, young man Woody, didn't you go to Tennessee?
Salakia, sir. I went to Tennessee.
And didn't you see some signs out there in Tennessee, right next out to the stadium that they were playing in?
Salakia, sir. Let me give you a brief rundown.
Give me a brief rundown on that. Give me that.
If you don't mind. For everybody that's listening to this voice of mine right now, it may be old and crackly, it really don't matter. They've been lynching you since you've been here. They hang you off of a bridge, a tree, it really don't matter. They hung a brother off of a bridge, let his body stay there so long, the rope broke, and he fell into the river, and his body was never recovered. In that very same spot where Titan Stadium is, if you look across the river from Titan Stadium, it used to sit a jail in that very area. And in that jail, what they would do is the same thing that's going on now. They would let the people in the city come and snatch people out of the jail and lynch them. And when I mean lynch, I'm talking about hang them in the tree. And it got to the point to where they were lynching them, and while they were lynching them, they were using them for target practice. They were taking their rifles and shotguns and shooting at the man or woman that was hanging, to die. And a lot of times in those hangings, it was based on nothing. And for us to sit back and say, I'm going to play football for these crackers, block you, it's a damn shame, because every stadium that you go to in America is a crime zone.
Damn right.
It is a straight up crime zone right in that area, because your people have been killed, from the Hispanics to the Native Americans to the Negroes. We all have been hung in trees. And in Nashville, they don't give a damn. You can go up the hill, up that main street called Broadway. And where the buildings are so tall, back in the day, it wasn't that height. So if you're at the top of that hill, you can look down into the river and see black men and black women being hung.
All
you
right.
can see black men and black women being raped. You can see black men and women being tortured by these Peckerwood oppressors.
All right, Warrior. Okay, I'm about to. Oh, okay. Let's calm down, little brother.
I got the vote. I ain't got the vote. They killed my people.
Okay.
They still killing my people. It's called lynching in America. And I tell you what, if you don't believe that, watch Christ. He's coming back. He's gonna kill all.
All right, the water. All right, the water. Okay, the water, Warrior. Hey, we gonna give you a hand for that, man. We give you a hand for that. But he has a right to be mad, man. He has a right to be mad. We all should be mad about that, because this is right. This is where your football commissioner that you voted in for football commission. This is what he think of us. Right next to the stadium we were lynched at is the stadium that you running up and down the football field for. This is going on. And that's just one city and state in America. You have many more. Mississippi, Florida, Virginia, Texas. You have many, many more that's going on. But I will say this. We have somebody coming. Go ahead.
One more thing to add on. You know how we got social media now, you know what I'm saying? And they say, well, we can see everything now because we got social media. The camera is right there.
Mm-hmm.
In them very same spots, 2,000 people, 3,000 people, 4,000 Caucasian oppressors would sit there and watch one or two black men get hung.
They didn't
care.
care.
Still going through this, talking about I'm going to vote. I'm going to go and get this man out so we can get some change. Damn, these folks change. Send Christ back so we can get to this killing.
I'm about to get Christ back right now. I'm about to bring Christ right back in the scenario. Hey, throw water for that, man. And that brother's mad, man. I don't blame him. I'm mad as hell, too. And we all should be mad, man, talking about voting. We should have no part of this country, man. We should pull our stuff out of this country and stick with it, come into the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commander General Yahanna, and let's take back over this daggone country, and let's take Israel back, because this belongs back into the I.S.U.P.K. We are the real priests and prophets here, and we're going to bring you the real truth of what this is. We're going to bring you right back to Israel. So, Warrior, I understand your pain, I understand your anger, and keep that going. That's why in I.S.U.P.K. we're going to show you how to harness that whole time. Give me Proverbs 11 and 21. Give me Proverbs 11 21. Because I'm going to show you his anger and what has happened in all these protestings going on. I'm going to show you the fate of these people. You got that word? Proverbs 11:21. Somebody says like you?
Yeah, if I could go back to what you were bringing out when everybody they chose the scripture they were just talking about how people choose like who they want to choose instead of following the Lord.
Right.
Yeah, Proverbs 17 and 15 is precept.
Give it to me.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifies the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abominations to the Lord.
Damn right. That's definitely a precept. And it's going to be a precept to what I'm about to bring out right now in Proverbs 11:21. Let's get that.
Sir.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Say it again.
But the seed.
Okay, go ahead. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. There we go. I just want to bring that the wicked will not go unpunished. Though you see these Caucasians out there in these protests holding hands with you, thinking they're on the same fate as you, they're not. And just because they do that, that don't mean they're not gonna go unpunished. They're going to go punished because the word says so. Although you join hand in hand with them, the unjust, they will still get punished. So that was a precept to that, and this is a precept to what you just said too. Makwala. There we go. Give me Proverbs 29:2. We got about 10 minutes left in this class. If you might got any questions on deck, let me know. But go ahead and give me Proverbs 29:2.
I don't know what cause, sir.
All right, read it when you got it.
It's the book of Proverbs. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Read it
but
again.
When the wicked bear the people mourn.
Read it again.
I don't know what cause. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
That's where we at right now. We in mourning, man. Because the righteous are not ruling. The wicked is ruling. And they're in mourning. But it's going to come a time where the righteous will rule. We're going to rule this place, and we're going to rule it just. And we're going to rule it according to the Most High God and the Bible and what it's told us to do. We're going to pick the people that's from our own nation, our brethren, and we're going to run Israel. And we're going to have no perspective persons. And we're going to run this the way it was supposed to be ran. Because when we're in rulership, everything's going to be fine. But right now, we're in mourning. We're in mourning. And I want to tell you who's going to come back for that. The real King of Kings. Christ, Yahanna was the real king. And they rejected him too. They rejected him. Israel rejected him as well. But give me Revelations 19 and 16. Because he's going to come back and he's going to rule with the iron, with the rod of iron. And a lot of people are going to meet their fate. And many of Israel, as much as I hate to even say it, and I hope they don't go to this, but a lot of us, we're not going to make this. Because we want to vote. And we will join ourselves with our oppressors. And want to do the same thing in the Bible when they want to do the things that the other inhabitants of that land, they wanted to join with them and do what they were doing. They wanted the king. And God allowed them to have a king. And with that, when God had allowed them to have a king, this is what we have right now, United States, running wild. Give me Revelation 19 and 16.
Sir. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 19, verse 16. And he has on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
What was that?
King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
That's right. Yahanna coming back with a vesture. He's the King of Kings and the Lords of Lords. Christ is our King. Christ is our King. And when we had a chance to choose him, they wanted somebody else. They wanted Barabbas. Give me Matthew 17 and 26 real quick. I'm going to show you a little clip what happened to the Most High. You think what happened to Floyd was tragic, and it was tragic. But Yahushua King went through far more greater things than that. He suffered for us. And this is how you want to repay him. We want to pay the Most High. We want to pay Christ back in this way, to vote. They say, nah, damn, we don't want what the Lord wants. We want what the oppressors want. We want them to be ruling over us. That's how we pay them. That's how we pay his death. By going to the heathen nation, asking for change and asking for, droplets from them. This is what we want. Give me Matthew 27 and 26. And I'm going to have to drop you down a little, man. Warrior, let me see. Read it when you get there. Go ahead and read it. Matthew 27, 26. Uh-huh.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 27, verse 26.
Uh-huh.
Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Yahushua, he delivered him to be crucified.
Drop me down to verse 28.
Verse 28. And they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. Verse 29. And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him, and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews.
Making a mockery of our King. Keep reading.
Verse 30. And they spit upon him, and took the reed, and smote him on the head. Verse 31. And after that, they had mocked him. They took the robe off from him, and put his own raiment on him, and led him away to crucify him.
Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 32. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross.
Go ahead.
Verse 33. And when they were come unto a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull. Verse 34. They gave him vinegar to drink, mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink.
Damn, man. The hell with this voting, man. You see what they did to our king? They beat him. They mocked him. Called him, you the king of the Jews? They mocking him. And then as he walked this whole path down the Golgotha to get hung, to get crucified, they give him what to drink? Vinegar, man. And you want to vote. This is what you're voting for. Read on.
Verse 35. And they crucified him, and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garment among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots.
Keep reading.
Verse 36.
Uh-huh.
And sitting down, they watched him there. Verse 37. And set up over his head his accusation written, This is Yahushua, the King of the Jews.
Now I'm going to stop right there for time's sake, because it gets even more gorier than that. And we just ran out of time to get into that. But this is what you wanted to vote for, man. Your king went through all this and died for us, for you to eat shrimp, pork, and lobster, for you to shave your beard and your head, for you to vote at the polls. This is not what Yahushua died for. Voting is unlawful. And I encourage anyone out there who has the right, the voice to say to go vote. You have any family members, tell them to read these scriptures. Or better yet, have them have them log into this in I.S.U.P.K. and we can teach them that this voting is unlawful. Do anybody have any questions? Any comments they want to say before we end the class?
It's a lot, sir.
Go ahead.
I got a question on the scripture. Just read right there. They say they stripped and they crucified him and parted his garment, casting lots. Is that? Can you also could you also use that like how they did it in slavery? Like how they used to take our garments and even our body parts and sell it like this, huh?
Yeah, you can use it. They did it to us as well. That's how you know Yahushua was a black man. The stuff that happened to Yahushua happened to us. Happened exactly the same way as us. But for him, it's far greater because he died for all of us. We dying for something that's sacred to yourself. But yeah, you can use that. Any other questions, comments before we go? All right. I'm going to cause it 50. I'm going to pass the class to Officer 50-yard room.
Get that powerful priest a hand. This is I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The rule for a new brother or sister: when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Get to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations are to be announced. Right now we have the closing of the Feast of First Fruits. Let's see. And if anybody wants to get in the school and be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black: boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Amajim, Majim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Brakathum. What we just said, Most High, bless you in the name of Christ. Yazmatah, hands down. Sorry means to turn. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. What we just said is the Most High watch over you in the name of